Hello everyone.
And welcome to video 51 of Exposing the Beast System. Right now I need you to forget everything that you have ever learned in this world and start fresh. Start fresh. Okay, I decided to go ahead and extend the Beast System videos just because there's no better way to explain it, no better way to name it. It's exposing the Beast System. Okay, now Maxwell Smart got snubbed on the YouTube Streamy Awards, and I'm very heartbroken about that, as you can tell. I mean, I'm just absolutely upset beyond belief. I can barely contain myself. These people are insane. But I did get to see some of the people that they were propping up, and wow, man, they are pushing an agenda that is absolutely insane. You know, I've always thought about maybe trying to interview a Freemason, talk to him. So I'm going to let this creature do it for me to a family member. So it's quite comical if you watch it and understand what's really going on here. But this is how they operate. This is what they are willing to go through in order to push an agenda onto the masses. You be the judge. Now, what this video is about is this is about masonry and Freemasonry. And what you are going to see is a tranny doing a question and answer session with its supposed 32nd degree grandfather. I'm just going to let it play out.
Make the members wiser and better and consequently happier, and this is accomplished by means of a series of moral instructions taught according to the ancient usage, by types, symbols, allegorical figures, and lectures. So, one fun fact about this little guy is that even though it claims to be the manual, there are still things hidden even from this. Two things to know about this manual. One, not everything that you need to know as a Mason is confined in here. And two, some of the things...
A lot of things are hidden, okay? And look at the Adam's apple on this creature that they're trying to cover up with that little thing on its neck. It actually has a few things on its neck to try to distract you. But look at that little black thing that's going across the middle of its neck. And you'll see. Look at that Adam's apple. That is an Adam's apple right there, folks. That is an Adam's apple. Don't be deceived by these people. But this is what Facebook is willing to go through to try to tell you that Freemasonry is this benign thing and my grandpa's in it and he's really cool and he's a good guy and whatever. Yeah, well, they've all been tricked. And look at this tranny man trying to sell you, this warlock, trying to sell you the lies. Way too much eye makeup, the hair covering up that big neck and the shoulders, brow ridge. Yes, what you are looking at was born a male.
That are written in here are written in such a way that I, someone who's not a Mason, can't understand it. I don't know what it is. I read through it, most of it seemed to make sense, but apparently there's symbolism and certain like metaphors in here, or the way it's written that needs to be decoded, and there's a certain cipher or decode system, I don't know, that you only learn when you become a Mason. So apparently I could read this all day long and still be just as clueless as when I started, and only know what a Mason would be willing to tell me anyway, so that's great. Since I could only get so far on my own, I decided to interview my grandfather, who's been a Mason for more than 50 years. Before I show you any clips of the interview with my grandfather, I will say that he did not want his face shown, which is why you can only see the background of his kitchen and his hands for most of the shots. He also tends to talk in circles no matter what he's talking about, so before anyone tries to psychoanalyze the interview and being like, oh, he was being evasive there, that's just kind of how my grandfather talks. He gets to his point. You just kind of have to pick through a lot of unnecessary details and side stories to get to his point.
Look at that big hand. Look at how long the ring finger is in relation to the index finger. Right there. Right there. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure this stuff out, folks. Look at that hand. Look at how big that hand is. And look at how long the index finger is. YouTube is pushing an agenda right now. Oh, and look, we have a monetized little deal over here. Look over here in the corner. There's an ad coming on. Isn't that special?
And then sometimes you have to just give up because he's never going to get to the point. Bless.
There were secret societies that were involved in founding this country. Who were they? And what were they trying to do?
What are they trying to do? They're trying to destroy the human
Bless him.
race.
He's 91 years old. Give him a break. So what year or how old were you when you became a Mason?
I think I was 24. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's pretty young. So, like, what drew you into wanting to be one?
Well, I just had the feeling I knew some guys that was real guys, you know. I mean, they were real gentlemen, and if they told you something, that's the way it was.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not that way really anymore, not so much, but it's still pretty, it's an organization that's, I would say it'd be one of the greatest that I've ever.
Illuminati pyramid on the hand sign.
Because a handshake or something that we do, that's the way it is. If I tell you I'm gonna kill my dog, I'll just kill him.
What? What is that?
I mean, that's how.
That's how insane these people are. I'll just kill my dog. Okay, and now look at this. It thinks from the side that its trachea is not really visible, but what you are looking at is a boy. This is a boy. Look at the Adam's apple sticking out right there. It's flat-chested. You're going to see a little more of that here in a minute.
Realistic it is.
Oh. So you would say that in other places, even as far as Europe, it's still the same?
Yeah.
Like if you were to go to a lodge in France,
Yeah.
they would practice the same things we do here.
Same practice, same routine, and everything. Well, it might not be exactly, but it'd be so close to it, you'd know where you was at when you stepped in the door.
Yeah.
But I could go from here to, say, France.
Yeah, because it would have a checkerboard floor. Fucking freak.
They'd give me a place to stay, you know, if it come down to something like that.
Really?
And after I began to find that out, I'd been wanting to go to Canada, but I didn't never get to there till 30-something years later. But I just wanted to see if theirs was the same as ours, which it is nearby, because we've had them people to visit us at our lodge. And we've had, you know, people from the U.S., several of them over the years have been vacationing in the mountain, and if it happened to be our Masonic meeting night, well, they'll meet down there with us. It's a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
It's not just, you know.
Oh, we know it's a worldwide thing.
How have the Masons changed over the years? Have you noticed any changes, or has it stayed the exact same
So
since you started?
little amount you don't even want to try to memorize all of it. You get your basic, and that's pretty well it right on down to the wind-up.
But the practices from the time you joined when you were 24
Yeah.
to now, you haven't seen any change, really.
No.
So one thing I saw in the manual that I was curious about was, so Dad told me that there's some things that aren't in here that are only spread through word of mouth, or that, you know, are secrets, so it's gonna be, I won't understand it, right?
Yeah.
But
Watch the hand
Masons have
signs.
they put a lot of value in charity, like doing charity work.
Yeah.
And taking care of each other.
Yeah.
But when I was going through the manual, when it got to the portion about charity, that part wasn't in the manual. It says charity. This section accounts rationally and in detail for the ceremonies of initiation, containing almost entirely esoteric work. It cannot be written. If Masons put such an importance on charity, why is it in their own manual it's claimed to be esoteric, which essentially just means confidential, and can only be spread through word of mouth?
No, it means
So how do
secret.
they keep up with it? Are there other forms of
Esoteric
literature
means
that have it
secret.
written down that they maybe keep locked up in the lodges or the temples? I don't know, but it seems interesting to me that charity seems to be the foundation of the work of Freemasons, and yet
That's the image they
leave it out
purport
in their
anyway.
Simple manual for a beginner.
Well, it's not exactly a secret, but they try not to go about. They check out different charities,
Okay.
and they will not support something as evil or something like that, or even
Grandpa, you've been
they
tricked.
They don't like to support a beer joint or something like that.
They own the beer joints.
They don't.
Do you hear this, old man? Oh, they don't support a beer joint. They own all of the liquor licenses. They are the ones that control all of that. This old man is nothing but a liar.
But they don't.
Okay. So when you were deciding to join the Masons when you were younger, right when you were about 24, you didn't know a lot about it because they do have their secrets, right?
No, I didn't know nothing about it other than the guys that I knew and worked around and worked with. Some of them were Masons, and I would try to find out about it.
Yeah.
But after I found out that it wasn't supposed to be let out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry,
Yeah.
that this guy that was good people has got picked to go on to it. And then after you get in it, well, if you don't like it, you can come out.
Yeah.
But most people don't join it just to be a doing. But some join just to be up in further in society to make themselves a better job or something like that.
Okay. So, because my question was gonna be, what is the incentive to join, a society or like the Freemasons if you don't know much about it, if they have so many secrets? I want to know everything about something before I commit to it, right?
Yeah.
So, what is the incentive to commit to something if you don't know everything about it?
Because they're
Well,
dumb.
See, that's just about the reason Masonry is a secrecy.
To keep people from wanting to join it?
Yeah, they don't want everybody in.
Because they're
Well, they
dumb.
have to vote for people to be in there. They can
Yeah.
always vote them out.
And you have to vote them in, you have to vote them out too.
Yeah.
If they don't stand up to their oath,
Yeah.
you take an oath on the Bible when you're in there.
Mm-hmm.
And if they
Yeah,
don't
the
stand up
Bible
to
that they
oath,
wrote.
the Mason hears about it and gets it back to the lodge and it's proved. Out he goes.
Yeah.
In other words, if they catch him running around with the Mason's wife or know about it, so long, Joe,
Yeah.
because he broke his oath.
So the Masons aren't up to no good, right? They're a good organization, obviously. I don't think you would be a part of it if it was a bad thing, right?
Right.
Like and it goes with the Bible. It's not anything satanic or idol worship or anything.
Look at the hand sign.
And they do good for the community. They do charity work and all that. And they take care of each other. From what I've read, like the brothers in the lodge, they take care of each other.
Yeah.
Look at that
If it's
bony-chested
all
man.
good, what do you benefit from having secrets? Like
You
what
you benefited in your heart.
to have secrets? Like what I'm saying is, if you have nothing to hide, if there's no bad intentions of a Mason, then why do they have secrets if they have nothing to hide?
Oh, well, let's think a minute. You'd have everybody wanting in that just wanting to step up to another job. Better job. I know, Joe Blow, can you get me in over there?
So one question I had when I was reading through the manual, and it talks about the importance of the Bible.
Yeah.
The Holy Bible's open for every meeting. They open a meeting with prayer, end it with prayer. They have there's even like hymnals in here, and taking care of each other, doing charity, just serving the Lord is like basically the main purpose.
Exactly.
So what's the difference between being a Mason and just being someone who's a part of a church and is very dedicated to serving the Lord in all of those same capacities? Because churches are supposed to take care of each other, like in that way, the way the Bible talks about caring for widows and caring for people who are your brothers and sisters in Christ. What's the difference between that kind of thing and then being a Mason?
What's the difference? The difference is that man wanted to go and wanted to learn more about God.
You can't learn some of that outside of Masonry?
Not that we have in there. But
In
he's
church?
wanting to learn how we
Not
how
their
much
God.
we know about God and how about getting there to that point of Masonry, the top edge of it, like going on to be a Shriner. You get the basics in the third degree of knowing what God does and what He means to you because you done swore to it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, any outsiders, they'll never know, and you ain't supposed to ever tell them. If they want to learn, they'll have to come and get them an application, and some Mason has to take that application and get three more.
Oh, another commercial. Isn't that nice? Let's just go through the commercial.
Three more Masons to sign it before they'll even let him enter.
So
So see, there's that much difference in that and being a church goer.
what I'm saying is, So is there something about God that the Masons know that other people who are not Masons don't know?
No, he's the same God to everybody.
This is the only question that I feel like my grandfather kind of danced around on purpose, not just because that's how he talks. Whenever I asked
Look
him
at the
if Masons
pyramid
know
on
more
its
about God,
arm.
he said they did, but when I asked him straight out, he said no, and then kind of talked in a circle for a little bit. Okay, so like I said, someone who lives by, say, the same moral compass that a Mason lives by, taking care of others, serving the Lord with all his heart, is there something he doesn't know because he's not a Mason? Is there something about the Bible or about God that is exclusively knowledge that only Masons have?
No, it's right in there, and he's got the same reading that we have.
So back to my question then, so is there a difference between that person outside of they're just not a Mason? If that person serves the Lord, takes care of others, is charitable,
He's as good as that Mason is if they're both serving God under the same principles.
so again, what is the incentive to be a Mason if you can just be a part of a church and serve the Lord in that capacity instead of, having to go to lodge meetings and paying dues and things like that?
I never thought about it like that. Because I try to be the same to everybody.
Except you want to keep secrets.
Anybody that tries to do me dirty, I don't have to do them dirty. I can just tell one of my Mason friends if it goes that far, and he'll lay out a few of his teeth or something like that.
Lay out a few of his teeth. That's how these people operate. Yeah, and the old man, this is a 91-year-old man, and he laughs about it. These people are twisted. Even what they put out there is just ridiculous. Jeez.
Careful.
You'll have to blink that out. But anyway, there's no difference as far as them are going to church. Now, like I say, our pastor, he's not really again Mason, but he said, I just don't like them. Somebody told him years ago, he told me this one time, me and him were just talking. He said, they told me it's a type of a cult.
You think it's a cult?
Oh, they're wrong, I told you.
Why do you think so many people speculate that Masons are evil, part of a conspiracy, or a cult? Why do you think so many people believe that who aren't Masons?
Masons don't never believe in nothing evil.
No, I know. I'm not talking about the Masons.
Because trannies control everything. Everything you see on mainstream media, everything you see on a Hollywood picture, everything you see in Facebook, everything you see in Instagram, 90% of those Instagram models are men, and people are lusting after them. That's why. And look at this little bony-chested creature right here doing this interview. I mean, it's amazing what they are willing to actually put out there and act like this is normal. Look at the head. It's just insane. But this is what they do, folks.
I'm saying, why, if the Masons do good things, right? Why do outsiders view it as evil? Like, why do you think someone sees the
I've asked
Masons?
that questions to big Masons that's been to the top and back down. They says there's no answer to some of this stuff.
There's no what?
answer. No answer.
answers. No one knows, like, no Mason knows why people
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because there are secrets and people don't like the unknown? Like, if there's something
Yeah.
being...
If you're doing something good, why do you have to keep it a secret? If you are doing something good, why do you have to keep it a secret? Well, because you're not really doing anything good. That's the problem.
hidden, people are going to assume the worst. Like, oh, they're hiding something bad.
Yeah. Well, that's just human nature.
Yeah. Is there a punishment for revealing secrets of the trade? Would you be punished if they found out you revealed secrets?
You just get turned out.
They just kick you out?
You just not, you won't let you in anymore.
So, you already kind of answered this question, but I'll go ahead and ask it just in a different way. I was going to ask you, so why are there secrets? Because, like you said, it's a good thing. Being a Mason is a good thing, and they do good things. But I'm guessing the reason there are secrets is, you said something earlier, is that you don't want any and everybody wanting to become a Mason. So y'all,
Right.
So that's basically the reason.
That's what I was told when I went in, and I'll just tell it again if anybody asks us.
Yeah. Basically, it's just to keep people who are just joining it for bad reasons away.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I know a guy now. He's a Mason, but he just went in to get to be rub elbows with a rich dude and get work from him. I mean, he don't never go to lunch, and he ain't never done nothing for charity as I know of.
Yeah. Is it also just kind of fun to be a part of something secret?
Yeah.
Is that kind of it's just fun to have your secret handshakes and your little phrases you can say to each other that no one else understands is a code?
It's lots of fun.
Oh yeah, it's lots of fun. It's lots of fun, yeah. Adrenochrome, drinking human blood, eating human flesh. Yeah, it's lots of fun. This old man is insane. But this is what they are willing to go through to push Freemasonry as some benign, innocent, ha ha ha, we got a few secret handshakes, and ha ha ha, we got a couple of secrets. Well, these people don't know anything. Or they're just basically trying to deceive you on a totally different level. Which I believe the latter. I believe these people are here to do nothing but push an agenda. And now YouTube is pushing this agenda. This is all over YouTube, this kind of stuff. This is how I'm onto it. I'm just relaying this. This came up in my feed. I thought it was kind of bizarre.
I've had people to pick me in every manner to see if I was a Mason or not, you know. But they'll know right away that I am.
So basically, the secrets, it's not that it's anything sinister. It's just that you kind of want to keep bad people out of it, and it's for fun. Kind of a fun thing to be a part of. A secret club, I guess.
Yeah, that's it, you know, and to tell some of the stuff that happens, it's just because the men are having fun of doing it. So it's just a fun thing, a big fun thing, and it can happen to the millionaire or the poor man like me.
Yeah. Also,
just a
after
big
interviewing
fun
my
thing.
grandfather, I thought it would be appropriate to take a little trip down to the Masonic.
Okay, well, you've got to see some of this. Look at that. Do you believe that? That's what they're willing to go through. They're willing to go through this little scripted interview. You know, you can tell. It's laughing. Talking about hurting people. Things like that. It's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. But, you know, 91 years old. And that's the kind of stuff that they talk about. Except what really they do in there. They don't tell you about that. Okay, now I'm going to take a second just to transvestigate this creature real quick. Okay, now look at the little thing covering up its Adam's apple. Look at that brow ridge. Look at the size of the head. This is a little man. But look at the size of the head. And the hair can't even hide it. The hair can't even hide it. But listen to this little creature going to this Masonic lodge. And you'll notice it doesn't have a window in it, man. You can't see inside these places. Except through the front door. They have a little window in the front door, I guess. You'll see.
To the Masonic Lodge in Atlanta.
Hello. I feel like Joanna Cedia with her tiny little mic.
Look at that bony chest man.
Into a Nokia phone. So we're on the back side of the building. It looks like a prison. Just take a gander, you know. I don't know who's trapped there, but if you need help, wave something out of your hole, please. It's probably us. We're gonna be detained there. This was built in like 1906, and then caught on fire in 1950, and then was replaced with a parking garage somewhere. I don't know where. And then now there's this one built sometime around 1950, and I'm so scared I'm gonna get shot point blank from in there. So I'm gonna. 1690. There's a freaking light on.
Little flat-chested man.
That's about it. It's a row with like a sash on this. Yeah. You see it to the right? To the right. The sash is like white. You see it? It's nothing really special. It's like just their lockers when they change clothes for their meetings. So they all look super fresh.
Yeah, they look fresh. Fresh and stinking.
Okay, we need to I'm so scared. I'm not even kidding though, I swear when I was up there I heard someone laugh inside.
That was me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you literally said that a second after I left.
This is the lodge that both my father and my grandfather both did like their initiation and then like rising through the ranks of their degrees. So there's the Scottish Rite and the York Rite. My dad is in the Scottish Rite. I asked him why and what the difference is, and he was like, I don't know, I just wanted to be in that one. So I guess they go through those blue doors, and the Yorks go through the other blue doors. My grandfather, when I talk to him, swears up and down that it's nothing weird. And there's like different ranks, and so there's like masters who are just basically people in charge of like the meetings. But there's someone called the Worshipful Master, which I'll talk about more in depth outside of right here. The Worshipful Master is basically like the head of the lodge. He's the highest up in the rankings. Why is he called the Worshipful Master? When I asked my grandfather and my father, both of them could not give me an answer, despite the fact that my father himself has had the title of Worshipful Master.
Do you hear that? That creature's father itself has had the title of Worshipful Master. They're telling you right to your face. Look at that. Wow, that's just insane. And that's what the Worshipful Master is willing to do. Turn its son into a girl. Man, these people are crazy, man. They're freaks.
Never thought to ask what that meant, or why the title was what it is. Essentially, the job of the Worshipful Master is described as follows. As the sun rules the day and the moon governs the night, so should the Worshipful Master govern the lodge with equal regularity. So, sounds a little spooky in the beginning, but if you think about it a little more, basically just means that the Worshipful Master is just to be in charge at all times, like very regularly and consistently. Well, they also call God the Great Architect. And now here, holding my camera. Do you want me to not say your name?
Don't fake me.
I'll use a fake name. My buddy Chad here informed me that Satanists also refer to Satan as the Great Architect.
You think? You think Satan is referred to as the Great Architect? Yeah, and this trainee man right here is going to try to sell you on something different. Yeah. Wow. These freaks are relentless. They are relentless. This is what we have to deal with, folks. This is the world that we live in.
It's amazing. Yes, it is. It's really amazing what they are willing to go through. Well, I hope that this has brought your awareness up a little bit to, you know, Freemasons, what they do. I mean, there's some information to be gleaned from that interview. There is. There's information to be gleaned from anything that these people expose. Even when they don't think that they're exposing something, they're exposing something. My suggestion to you is to forget everything that you have ever learned in this world and start fresh. Start fresh. I can't stress enough that you need to drink distilled structured water. You need to incorporate it into your life. You need to use it, and like when you cook and stuff like that, use distilled structured water only. It helps. It really does. Another thing, magnetrons. Use these. Use the magnetron. These little magnets will protect you from electromotive forces. They really work, folks. Well, this is going to be the end of video 51 of Exposing the Beast System. I hope you all have a blessed week. I'll see you soon.